Yeah, there's a fight next week against Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas.
That's a good one,
I
too.
didn't see that one. Yeah, break that one down.
Well, you know I'm going to go with Boots. Boots, he's been in the game. Again, this is a tough opponent for Boots. Tough opponent for him. Again, just like the little guy that I had fight, it's a tough fight. It's something that everybody can sit down and watch, you know. And it's that fight. I can't wait to watch it because you gonna learn a lot from it. It's the battle with the corners with that fight. You know what I'm saying? Both of them young. Both of them got skills. But
Calvin Ford also shared his thoughts on a possible showdown between Jaron, Boots Ennis, and Xander Zayas ahead of June 27th. Ford favored Ennis to come out on top, citing his superior skill level, sharp technique, and greater preparation for world-class competition. He stated that Boots' complete package of athleticism, ring intelligence, and adaptability would likely make the difference if the fight takes place. Although Ford acknowledged Zayas as a gifted and steadily developing young fighter, he believes Ennis is currently performing on a different level. According to him, Boots' experience and proven success against high-level opponents would give him a clear advantage once the action begins.
I've been in their camp watching him. He's looking good. He's looking
in this
good.
camp for
Well,
okay.
we bring guys sometimes up there to get working right now. And what I seen how he's working, he's up for the task. I think it's like that fight, like he so we get to see some exciting stuff coming from Boots for this fight because he understands what he's going in front of. Because again, he wants them fights, and it seems like he can't get them because they favorite, But this young guy that he's supposed to fight, want to fight him. So that's a good fight that we want to sit in front of him and actually.
Ford also commended Ennis for his dedication, discipline, and the momentum he has built in recent years as he continues his rise toward becoming one of boxing's biggest stars in the post-Terrence Crawford era.
What to you in that time seeing him in camp preparing for Zayas?
How happy he look? How you seeing like he want that light on? He want to let the world know that he's here. Terrence Crawford retired, so who's gonna step up? Tank ain't been here. We've been saying everybody that has been busy. Nobody ain't really making no big noise to have the people sit at the water cooler talking.
Professional boxer Jahi Tucker also gave his opinion on a potential clash between Jaron, Boots Ennis, and Xander Zayas, making a confident prediction based on what he has witnessed firsthand in the gym. Tucker was decisive in his evaluation, forecasting a clear and convincing victory for Boots Ennis. He emphasized Ennis' well-rounded skill set, noting that his combination of offensive explosiveness and defensive sharpness would be major factors in separating him from Zayas if the two were to meet in the ring.
All right, now let me pick your brain a little bit. As I mentioned before, you've been sparring with Boots. Tell us, one, who you think is going to win and why Boots is a problem.
I think Boots is going to win this fight. I believe he just has too much different offensive tools and defensive tools to use against Xander. I think Xander's definitely going to come in there with a nice game plan. It's going to come strong. It's going to come ready. It's going to be a good fight. But I think that Boots just has more tools.
While acknowledging Xander Zayas as a skilled and rapidly improving young fighter, Tucker ultimately argued that the existing difference in experience and top-level ability would be difficult to overcome. In his opinion, Jaron Boots Ennis is currently competing on a higher level, possessing the versatility, ring IQ, and control necessary to manage a fight of that caliber with considerable confidence.
Okay. And so do you think it's going to be a stoppage? Is it going to go to distance?
I mean, when it comes to guys like Boots, Boots has a lot of power. So, you get caught with a shot that you're not paying attention to or something, a stoppage could incur. If I had to put my money on a stoppage, I wouldn't put my bread on a stoppage, only because you never know how much damage people could really take for real. But, I do think Boots is going to win this pretty handily, at least unanimous.
Max Kellerman and the rest of the panel noted that Jaron Boots Ennis has reached a point in his career where no opponent, including Xander Zayas, can simply be overlooked. Kellerman stressed that Ennis is now competing at such a high level that every challenge must be taken seriously, and even a talented fighter like Zayas cannot be viewed as an easy matchup.
There are other guys other than Virgil. Okay. We just showed the whole list.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Xander, guys in this division.
I'm here. He's about to fight Xander. Xander ain't no cupcake. That's my young boy. He can fight too. Boots at this level is like, look, man, whoever is in his weight class, it's a lot of greats on his weight class. Let's get to it.
Here's the thing: when you're as good as Boots, and a lot of guys maybe don't want to fight you because they have a future and they want to. Then you have to do things to entice them to get in the ring with you. Sometimes you have to negotiate against yourself a little bit. sometimes you have to be willing to cast a wider net.
Okay.
You got to do things to land
on the
fights. Go on the road, do what you.
In recent remarks, Eddie Hearn provided additional insight into the increasing attention surrounding Jaron "Boots" Ennis ahead of a possible showdown with Xander Zayas, delivering one of his strongest endorsements of Ennis to date. Hearn praised Ennis as a truly exceptional talent, saying that throughout his years in boxing promotion, he has rarely encountered a fighter with such a remarkable combination of natural ability and all-around skills. Rather than treating it as standard fight hype, Hearn spoke with genuine admiration about what Ennis brings to the sport.
The best fighter, yes, look, I'm just one of the biggest time boxers. I'm talking about pound for pound quality. She's the best fighter I've ever worked, ability-wise. And like, I've worked with some amazing fighters. Gosh, and active fighters now, like, who are on the pound for pound list. And this guy, I think, is better, honestly.
Lightweight prospect Shakur Stevenson shared his views on the sport while also offering his opinion on a potential matchup between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Xander Zayas. When discussing the possible fight, Stevenson strongly favored Boots Ennis, predicting that his superior skill set and greater ring experience would lead him to victory. While he recognized Zayas as a talented and steadily improving contender, Stevenson stressed that Ennis performs at a higher level both technically and mentally, qualities he believes would ultimately make the difference in the contest.
Big fight, Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas. Who do you think's gonna win that one?
I'll go Boots, and I hate to go against my top-ranked brother Xander, and it's actually a good, cool pal of mine. He's one of those nice guys that just, he just has an energy next to him too. You want to be cool with him too. He's not a bad, mean human being. He has a nice, kind heart. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those guys that you want to root for, and I do root for him. That's why I'm happy that he got his extension, before this fight. So I already know that Top Rank has a plan for him already in the future. He's just daring to be great. He just unified. He has two titles. Now he's fighting against probably one of the biggest stars in boxing right now. So he's daring to be great. But I think that it's just Jaron in his time. I think he's just a more mature fighter, more seasoned fighter. Has probably just a little bit better, way better skills right now. So he's gonna do his thing. I think he's gonna win the fight. But I believe that Xander's gonna make it very competitive. Xander's gonna be able to implement his game plan, and it's gonna be something that you don't want to blink on too, because both of them have dominant, skills and power.
Corey Spinks, the former undisputed welterweight champion, shared a similar opinion, stating that Jaron "Boots" Ennis possesses superior technical abilities to Xander Zayas in nearly every aspect of boxing. However, he pointed out that Zayas' greatest weapon would be his mindset, determination, and unwavering belief in himself. According to Spinks, Xander's best chance would come from his relentless drive and refusal to believe that the gap between him and Ennis is as large as many observers suggest.
I ain't saying like Boots is not better than, Xander is not better than Boots by far. Boots has superior skills. He's slippery. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I think this kid will to win. It might push him there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's up to Boots to be that phenomenal fighter.
Doug Fisher praised Xander Zayas for his impressive rise through the ranks and his success as a unified champion, but admitted that he had never been completely convinced by what he had seen from him in the ring. Fisher described Zayas as a solid, fundamentally sound, and well-rounded fighter, yet felt he lacked the explosiveness and standout qualities often seen in elite-level stars. In his view, that difference in finishing ability could become a major disadvantage against a dangerous opponent like Jaron "Boots" Ennis.
23 years old. He just got both those belts in his last two fights, and he's going to risk it all against Jaron "Boots" Ennis, who everybody thinks they're already anointing him not only #1 at junior middleweight, they're calling him, what's up, Thomas? They're calling him pound for pound. It doesn't make sense, but they're going him by the eye test. He looks like the goods. He's dynamic. Xander has never impressed me. Like, he gets the win, but until these last two fights, I've never watched the Xander Zayas fights. Oh, shit. I don't get excited watching Xander like I did watching.
Fisher described Boots Ennis as a fast, smooth, and highly inventive puncher capable of dismantling opponents with combination attacks from virtually any angle and at any time. He acknowledged that he has always been drawn to knockout artists and powerful boxer punchers, adding that Xander Zayas does not possess the same level of finishing power as the fighters he has traditionally admired most throughout boxing history.
Fast, fluid, powerful combinations, and offensive creativity. He pivots on the inside, and he's mixing up his combinations to the body and the head really, really well. And he gets the knockout. And that carries a lot of weight.
A lot of the people that
and Xander hasn't gotten a lot of knockouts.
True.
And that's a bias on my part. I like knockouts, you know what I mean? My favorite fighters were boxers, but they were boxer punchers, like Felix Trinidad or Terry Norris was a big favorite, and of course my
Former world champion Jarrett Hurd shared his prediction for the highly anticipated matchup between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Xander Zayas. Hurd made it clear that although he respects Zayas as a talented and continually developing champion, he believes the fight strongly favors Ennis. He highlighted Boots' aggressive style and dynamic offensive arsenal as the biggest factors in the matchup, suggesting that his pressure, punching power, and relentless work rate would be too much to handle over the course of the fight.
During Boots, because we talked about it a little bit, I asked you, like, how you feel like that fight gonna go, man? What's the breakdown of that fight?
Hey, listen, man, you know how I feel about that fight. I said, man, Xander's a great champion, unified. He's a durable champion, but in all honesty, rest in peace to Xander Zayas, man. Rest in peace to Xander Zayas. And the only reason why I'm saying that is not to discredit Xander Zayas. It's to give all the credit to Boots, man, because I look at Boots as like one of them fighters that's offense is so devastating, it's going to be hard to, no matter what you bring, it's going to be hard to deal with something like that. It's almost like Benavidez. You know what I mean? You know, Benavidez does get hit, and, you know, a lot of people saying now that Boots getting hit, we're going to see when he really gets hit. But the reason why everybody know that Boots gets hit is because it's not often that he gets hit. So when he does get hit, everybody sees like a big punch, but I mean...
Despite favoring Ennis, Hurd made it clear that he has a great deal of respect for Xander Zayas, recognizing him as a genuine talent who has earned his status among the sport's top fighters. However, he stressed that Jaron "Boots" Ennis brings a different level of physical strength, offensive intensity, and consistency that sets him apart from the majority of contenders in the division.
Boots, I won't say by... I got to see how the fight goes to say if it's going to be by stoppage, but for sure, Xander's going to show a lot of holes in Boots' game. But I mean, with the offense that Boots got, there's no way that Xander will be able to stand up to that.
Well, I mean, this is the first time he fighting somebody that's like size-wise, give him some competition. He's a little bigger than him. You think that's going to be an issue?
That is true, you know, because I didn't think about size playing a factor. Is this his first fight at 154?
Yeah.
It's his first fight at 154, so... I mean, but Boots was a big guy for 147, so I mean,
that's facts.
I think it's gonna play a factor a little bit, but like I said, how fast Boots is, the way he's gonna counter it.
U.S. Olympian and rising professional boxer Omari Jones also shared his thoughts on the upcoming high-profile matchup between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Xander Zayas. When evaluating the potential fight, Jones strongly favored Ennis, predicting that his versatility and well-rounded skill set would prove too much for Zayas to overcome. He pointed to Boots' ability to adjust to different styles and situations, noting that his complete arsenal makes him one of the toughest fighters in boxing to game plan against. While acknowledging Zayas as a respected champion and talented fighter in his own right, Jones ultimately viewed the matchup as one in which Ennis possesses clear advantages in experience, physical attributes, and overall ring IQ.
Zayas and Boots, and that fight is coming up at the end of the month on the 27th. Zayas is a young fighter. He's a young fighter just like yourself. He's got belts. Boots is in there. He's made a name for himself. He's got the experience.
Right.
I've talked to other fighters. A lot of fighters are telling me just because he's young, don't count him out. What are your thoughts on that fight?
I got Boots, man, and I low-key don't even see a way that Xander's gonna be able to deal with Boots. I mean, they say he's gonna box him and stuff like that or whatever, but I don't think Zayas' power is really top tier to really keep Boots off. I think Boots is very versatile. I think he'll fight a better fight than the past fights because I feel like as a boxer, you know, we gonna rise to the occasion every time. Sometimes you'll fight a fighter that's really not that good and he'll make you look bad. But when you really, you know, you find somebody that's like that too, you gonna rise to the occasion all the time. That's what I feel like.
As preparations intensify for a high-stakes showdown with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, Xander Zayas has already immersed himself in a demanding and highly focused training camp. Fully aware of the significance of this opportunity for his career, Zayas has approached every aspect of his preparation with complete dedication. His mindset is clear and unwavering. He is training with the sole objective of winning, treating each workout and sparring session as another step toward a career-defining moment on boxing's biggest stage. Despite being viewed by many analysts as the underdog in what is considered a dangerous matchup, Xander Zayas seems to have welcomed the pressure instead of being intimidated by it. Rather than weighing him down, those expectations have fueled his motivation, with reports from training camp describing a fighter pushing himself beyond his usual limits and fine-tuning every aspect of his game specifically for Jaron "Boots" Ennis. Interestingly, those close to his preparation have observed a clear improvement in his overall performance. While critics continue to focus on the threat posed by Ennis, Zayas' speed, timing, and discipline have reportedly reached another level, pointing to a fighter who is rising to the occasion rather than being overwhelmed by it. If that development carries over into fight night, he could prove to be a much more dangerous opponent than many expect. On the other side, Jaron "Boots" Ennis is preparing with the same level of intensity, heading into the fight in what many believe is the best form of his career. Riding the momentum of several dominant performances, Ennis is approaching this matchup not as a routine title defense but as a meaningful test of his place among boxing's elite. Instead of relying on his past achievements, he has reportedly taken his preparation to another level, entering camp with complete focus and attention to every detail. Each training session is being approached with a no-excuses mindset, as Ennis understands that rising contenders like Xander Zayas bring a unique combination of hunger, confidence, and unpredictability. His camp has been described as relentless, with equal emphasis placed on strength, speed, endurance, and ring IQ. Ennis is not simply looking to win, he wants to make a statement, further cementing his status as one of the sport's top fighters by delivering a decisive performance against a highly motivated and rapidly improving opponent in Xander Zayas. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Every week brings new boxing drama, major fight news, and in-depth analysis just like this.